The 6th and 7th legs of my 2022 westbound through hike of the Pacific Northwest Trail took me from Metaline Falls to the towns of Northport, then Republic, in Washington. These 119 miles took me from the Pend Oreille River to the Columbia, along tons of dirt roads, paved roads, and even a few trails. It was a straightforward section, but it would not be uneventful.
You skip a road walk and you skip stuff like this, whatever this is. Alright, just 4 or 5 miles in. Got to the power lines coming from the boundary dam that we visited yesterday, which happened to be where first easy access to Flume Creek was. So I got a liter of water. It's actually pretty nice to have a long dirt road to switch back up, get rid of 2,000 feet of gain on a nice, gentle grade. Yeah, it's intense. Leaving your friends and family again. Sort of remaking the choices you made at the beginning of the trip. But it's just as good a time as any to keep pushing forward on this journey when obviously there is the wall of wildfires that erupts every year in the West now, waiting to explode. Even in this high snow rain year, there's going to be a lot of wildfires still. I want to walk across the state, Washington, and get back to my love, and get back to my work with this, the Pacific Northwest, in my veins, in my heart. It'll always be there. That's what these trails do. They build back a part of yourself that never left, but can always grow stronger, more gentle in every direction. I just met Kettle. She was at the main campsites that are up here. It's probably silly of me not to stay there, because there's not supposed to be that many campsites going forward, but I really want to just make dinner, appreciate the views, and actually have one of those days where you're just looking for a spot on the ridge.
From the PNT, there's a spur trail to the top of Abercrombie Mountain, the second highest summit in eastern Washington. Over 400 million years ago, the sedimentary rocks that now lie at its summit were deposited along the border of Laurentia, an ancient continent. In the intervening time, the oceans acted as giant conveyor belts, pulling in more and more continental crust and island arcs to grow the continent into North America, a patchwork of land sown from ancient places. The violence of America's construction deformed and folded the lands, peppering them with magmatic intrusions and volcanoes on the surface. With all these forces, it's perhaps less surprising that this is where deposits of zinc, gold, and silver have been found and mined for 100 years.
Pretty epic. It's getting a little dark. Let's make dinner quick, shall we? Looking pretty damn good. This meal courtesy of Chubby Bunny and Iguana. Oh my god, it is so tasty. I cannot even describe it. Now I just gotta find a spot to camp. Shit. It can feel pretty special to wake up in a place like this. My throat's real dry, but I got almost a liter. That should be enough to quench my thirst a little bit on the way down to the next water. That's where I set my tent up. There's already this big round patch.
Leaving Abercrombie Mountain, the PNT followed the Silver Creek Trail 5,000 feet down to a small valley through a variety of forests and meadows with differing ecologies.
ladies and gentlemen. I think we might finally have our first easy section of the Pacific Northwest Trail. I'm gonna take that and enjoy it.
At the bottom of Silver Creek Trail, the Silver Creek Road took me to Deep Lake Boundary Road, where I would have to walk 19 miles on paved roads north around the mountains to the town of Northport.
Proper road walk towards Canada. I crossed from traditional Kalispel or Kalispel or Pend Oreille Indian territory into Lakes Tribe territory.
The name of the Lakes Tribe, Sinaixt, means speckled fish in Salish, and they traveled their territories that centered around the Upper Columbia by canoe, specializing in hunting deer and bear. In 2021, the Sinaixt won an important series of court battles that finally earned them recognition from the Canadian government as a living group of Indigenous people with a right to hunt ceremonially in their ancestral territories.
Quite the long road walk, so I'm sitting here by a lake eating a tuna bagel sandwich.
The temperature kept rising towards 100.
Miles and miles of super hot road walking later. I guess this section isn't quite a piece of cake after all. Man, still by comparison, it's the easiest, but God, I'm hot and a little bit dehydrated. Very close to Canada. Canada is just right behind me there. And here we are at the Columbia River. Nothing like being dehydrated as you walk next to a large body of water, is there? Well, that was pretty amazing. Just rolled up on this place, Wayne and Candy's. They gave me all sorts of stuff. I got a slice of rhubarb crisp, a bag of dried cherries. That'll make the next 5 miles of road walking a lot better, for sure. Candy and Wayne's, they gave me dinner too. They gave me spaghetti and cornbread, packed in a little plastic Tupperware. So that's in my backpack now. Pretty amazing. Tough sometimes when you see the whole mile ahead of you all the way. Oh man, potential destination number 1.
25 miles into my day, I arrived at the Upper Columbia RV Park, which would have been a good place to spend the night.
Well, I've decided to walk the remaining 5 or 6 miles from the RV park to Northport. After the amazing trail luck, Wayne and Candy and Troy at the RV park, who gave me some potato salad. I had an ice cream stick there. Just want to kind of knock out the rest of the road miles. And there's something wrong with me. I just don't know how to stop, you know? There is Northport. Oh.
Super nice to get to this lazy days retreats. Man, yesterday's 30-mile day with a long road walk in the sun. There's a national excessive heat warning in effect. Got up above 100 and it's going to again. So I have to plan out how I want to do the rest of this section, which not only has more road walking, but also has a large burn area. So I'm gonna probably just hang around today. Well, there is like nothing open in town. So I got myself a bag of junk food here for the resupply, and 2 of these breakfast burritos from the freezer, and some Skittles flavored yogurt. It's the only yogurt they had. Thankfully, as the day progressed, more businesses opened in Northport, and I got in touch with the Trail Angel, who offered to let me spend the night at their place. In the meantime, there was some very compelling merchandise to consider. I'm just here at the Mercantile, just doing a little shopping, seeing what I can find. And there's a drawer full of kittens. Right now I'm at Jamie and Josh's, and they've been really kind to let me hang out and rest my foot, which has very, very minor tendonitis that I gave myself yesterday by road walking too much. You're not helping this whole too hot situation, Cat. Alright, I've had a lovely stay here in Northport at Jamie and Josh's this past night. Very generous trail angels here. Could be in the hundreds. Hopefully it's going to be cooler where I'm headed though. Yep, gotta get started. Leaving Northport, I ran into the one roughly half-mile break I would have in my continuous footpath along the PNT in 2022. It was a construction zone which pedestrians were not allowed to walk through on Northport's bridge over the Columbia River. And at least in exchange, I got a fun ride in the back of a pilot car. Alright, well I got a ride to here. Continuing on. It's a shame I couldn't walk across, but so it goes. Hopefully that's the only break in my continuous footsteps. Pretty small one. Yeah, I've got some very, very minor tendonitis that flared up. Here's hoping it doesn't get too bad, and I'm able to enjoy this section from Northport to Republic. Got these as kind of a throwback because I used to have them at my dad's house all the time. About 5 miles in, 5.5. Foot's doing okay. You can feel it, but it's okay. Heading west out of Northport, there were around 45 miles of dirt roads I had to walk. First, I followed them along Sheep Creek, and then I re-entered the Colville National Forest and continued through areas clearly permitted for livestock grazing. Oh man, I see you have problems with bugs too. I'm sorry. Oh, who's that? Yep. Mile 9 coming out of Northport. Starting to feel more remote out here. This road, I mean, I haven't seen a single car, well, except for one truck back pretty close to Northport. After that, nothing. So we're in phase 2 for the day, which is a nice slower pace. Just trying to be sustainable in the heat, soaking my hat in the water whenever I can, and just making slow and steady progress. Well, I missed a junction. Unfortunately, the little connector trail to get back to the thing is abandoned, totally overgrown. So I think I'm gonna go on this wiggly ass forest road all the way over to there where it connects again. I just can't stand walking 2 miles for nothing if I go back all the way.
I don't think I want to go into the woods with a bunch of cows, neck and neck. I don't think they want me to go hang out with them. So, you know, I'm gonna respect the cow. I'm gonna respect the cow. Maybe I'll listen to something to distract me a little bit. Yeah, there's not too much out here to see on my alternate. More forest road. Some more open forest, a little higher, a little drier. This day just keeps going more fucked up by the hour. Skipped some water because it was full of cow. I just drank some everything. Should have drank cow water. Should have drank the cow's juice. Oh. Finally getting back on the PNT after a long, waggly detour. All right, this is the Kettle River. This is Scott.
Yeah, I'm from Bellingham.
Oh yeah, from Bellingham. It's a big river. It's beautiful. Ospreys hanging out.
I had seen Scott earlier on the trail and last at Metaline Falls. We hiked together until I stopped to make dinner.
There's something in the golden light of the evening that can just transcend all the hardships of the day. Scott headed off to find his campsite, and I'm gonna head off to find mine now. There's just this big magical hill as you ascend into the golden light.
Day 2 from Northport to Republic. Last night I was headed up the big hill. There are lots of private property signs, but I did find a small road going off with no signage, and it led to just a dead end with some spots to camp, so I camped there. There were actually blueberry bushes there. So now I'm headed up the big hill towards the Pitkin fire, which burned through a few years ago. Yeah, it looks like there's going to be about 22 miles of the trail that are affected by it. Today is supposed to be the hottest day of the heat wave. It's going to be a lot of up and down as well, so it's kind of the big meat and potatoes day of the section. I'm feeling pretty good. Glad that my foot is not a huge problem, and I'm really glad that my stomach is also not a huge problem. So that's exciting anyways, to be relatively normal. We're gonna have to see how this burn goes. It's been basically 3 days since I've walked on anything that was like a trail. Of course, after days of road walking, when you first finally get to something trail-like on the PNT, this is what it is. A flooded, sort of bushy, wacky-ish type thing that just connects you to another road, really. Ultimately, this is a big part of the charm of hiking a long trail in its earlier days. Getting chances to feel more like an intimate explorer of the land. also means that when something goes wrong, there's probably no one else around to help.
I just found this puppy. You look like you might need some water. Oh man. You're way out here, aren't you? Okay, I gave the puppy the rest of my water and some meat and a meat stick. They aren't wanting to follow me though. I think the only way I'm going to get him to come down is to carry him to the spring. Oh boy. Yeah, keep drinking. I just carried this dog half a mile down the bushwhack to this spring, which is of course not on the trail. It's a quarter mile off the trail. I can figure out something here.
I yelled out repeatedly to see if anyone was nearby, and the results were not what I expected.
God damn it, dude. 2 other puppies just came out of this freaking stream. Oh, and I was calling.
It had been 13 miles since I crossed a real paved road, so I chose to take the puppies forward on the trail, hoping that Boulder Creek Road 4 miles ahead would be a way to get them help as soon as possible.
Come on, guys. You can do it. You can do it. Come on, puppies. Come on. Oh, it's gonna be hard. Come on, you guys can just go under. I believe in you. Come on.
Every moment where it seemed like the puppies might not be able to follow me was crushing.
Sobbing for my hike, don't mind me. Come on, you guys. I believe in you. Please let them make it. Okay, I'm trying to coordinate with Justine. I started tracking my position. I don't know what the next real road is. I don't know how long it's going to be till the next place a sheriff could actually come drive and pick them up, or animal control, or whoever's. You guys got this, puppies. Oh, be careful. Oh, are you stuck? Oh, be careful. Okay, you got it. You gonna go over the top? It's a good strat. Nice. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, you can do it.
Most of the roads in the area were destroyed or abandoned in the Pitkin fire, so I was trying to brace myself for a possible long haul in case the next road turned out to not be an option.
That's it. All right. Got the puppies. Got them some meat stick, got water, a little bit of food. We just gotta make it 2.5 miles. We're gonna have to climb a hill. They're not gonna like that. We were resting in the shade. They didn't want to start up again, of course, but they're following me now. Hopefully that Deer Summit campground will be a place that somebody can actually meet me and pick them up. You can do it, puppies. I believe in you. Now there's some proper puppy hydration for you. Oh yeah. You gotta soak it. Soak it and drink all you need. It's real hard to convince puppies to go uphill. But they're doing it. They're doing it. It's got about 500 feet to climb. Got them watered down in the creek down there. I picked them all up and put them all in because they were too tall for them to jump in. So they got a little soak, drank some more water. Who knows how long they've been out here. Clearly not a super long time. They don't look too starved, but who knows, man. I know, it's not fun. We're almost up the hill, puppies. Almost up the hill.
Amazingly, just before the road, I ran into a PNTA trail crew. It was a huge relief to find other people, and especially ones that were happy to help. Lou and Amon agreed to take the puppies the last quarter of a mile or so to the road in their truck, and they even had dog food to share.
It's pretty awesome. So that's very good. I got
a dose of trouble.
Oh man. There the puppies go. Looks like the pass up there has construction going on, so there should be a lot of people, and we should hopefully find somebody to take them, to an animal shelter or something like that.
Thankfully, a construction worker was happy to get the puppies the rest of the way to a shelter. They had actually already found and taken in 2 other puppies and their mother earlier that morning. I later learned that all the dogs had wandered off their owner's property, which was somewhere towards the small town of Orient.
There they go.
They were all eventually reunited there through the Forget-Me-Not Animal Shelter, northeast of Republic.
Oh. Well, Lou and Amon also gave me some apricots and cherries, which is super appreciated. Now I'm just kind of taking a moment to calm down and reset after that whole big adventure. Whew. What a morning.
I was 8 miles into a 50-mile southbound section of the trail that detours around the town of Republic. I had 14 miles to go to get out of the Pitkin fire into the next water source out of the burn.
And I'm gonna try and go real fast, 10 miles the rest of my day, to actually try and get to the next proper spring and get out of this burn. So I'm kind of going into turbo mode. I'm down 1 trekking pole since I let the bottom half slip out when I was carrying the puppy towards the spring. So I'm seeing how it goes going fully pull-less, and it's pretty nice to have both hands free. I think I can see the end of the burn out there. First drop of rain. It's raining. Almost just 1 mile to go to the spring. Less than a mile now. Go around the corner one more time. .2 miles away. I see a structure. Could it be the spring? It looks like it. It looks like it is. This was my campsite last night. Probably one of the funnier pitches I've ever done. Sleeping next to the cow chips. Kicked as many of them away as I could. Day 3, Northport to Republic. Looks like I got some nice walking on these hills to start the day off. And yeah, should just be about 15, 16 miles. Quite the day yesterday, quite the day. Oh man.
After the Pitkin fire, the PNT takes hikers along the Kettle Crest Trail, which was a lovely change of pace and gave peaceful overlooks of the impressive Okanagan landscape from a well-graded and maintained trail. It was a great way to complete the section. Up on the crest again. Sometimes I feel like the PNT is kind of like about the simple joys of backpacking. It's about the small things. As you go west from the ancestral lands of the Lakes tribe, you get to the lands of the Colville tribe and the Okanagan. So that's where I am now. The Colville are centered around the Columbia River and the Colville River valleys, and of tremendous importance to them, as well as many neighboring tribes, was Kettle Falls, where the Kettle River I had crossed the day before meets the Columbia. Kettle Falls once had a tremendous run of salmon and was the second largest fishery on the Columbia, the most productive river in the world for salmon. Native peoples from a huge surrounding area would journey to Kettle Falls for a summer fishing season directed by a salmon chief appointed by the Colville tribe. The Colville people's Salish name means sharp-pointed trees, and they speak a dialect of interior Salish. The Colville and the Lakes tribes are both today part of the Confederated Tribes of the Colville Reservation. Disastrously, Kettle Falls was destroyed in the 1940s when the Grand Coulee Dam was constructed downstream. Over 1,000 miles of salmon spawning habitat were destroyed. The dam was championed by the Bureau of Reclamation and eventually approved by Franklin Roosevelt in a climate of global industrialization and war. Today, salmon in the Upper Columbia are produced only by 3 hatcheries funded by the dam's operation. In the U.S., the Upper Columbia United Tribes, or UCUT organization, formed in 1982, designs and advocates for improvements to the management of natural resources in the control and influence of its 5 member tribes, and also works to improve relationships and collaborations with U.S. government agencies.
I push through the brush. I wonder if there's an apparatus through which the trail is feeling me. I feel like I'm being touched, like I'm being felt by the trail as I sort of swim through it. I'm in the final 5 miles or so to Highway 20. Actually, final 3, I think. Pretty exciting to be so close to Republic. And food. I ate the absolute last of my food, except for my emergency packet of ramen. Almost down to the road. I can taste the cheeseburgers. No PNT marker. Came out of the ravine there. And I'm at the highway. Oh, there's a bicyclist. He said there's his brake stop up ahead, so there must be some kind of big bicycling event going on. So I'm gonna go see if those friendly bike people may be interested in giving a guy a ride. Well, I made it almost to Republic, but more importantly, I made it to this.
It was a multi-stage hitch, but I eventually made it to Republic, Washington, a town along the PNT that many hikers, including myself, resupply from twice because of how the trail circumnavigates the land around it. I stayed the night and took a 0-day while waiting for a replacement trekking pole to arrive, and enjoyed nice rooms at the Northern Inn and the Prospector. Sitka Coffee Roasters was a great hangout spot with tasty burritos and pastries to accompany the best coffee I had had on trail so far. I got in touch with Sarah Wilson, a local trail angel, and she helped me out big time with a ride back out to the trail super early in the morning so I could hike before the heat hit on the next leg of the Pacific Northwest Trail.